Hello, my name is Prime, and welcome back to another episode of ATS Showcases, and today I am driving the Peterbilt 350 from 1949, an amazing mod that's available on the Steam Workshop, so I'll have it linked down in the description below. It comes with tons of great customization options, along with its own sound mods. So let's start with the customization options, shall we? There's a couple different cabin options. I say a couple, quite a few, 1949 and 1952 options, depending on your liking. We head over the chassis, there's quite a few different options, obviously all dependent on the cabin type that you do select. Moving over to engines, we've got plenty of engines to choose from, but you may notice not overly high powered, at least compared to what we're used to in ATS today. So I'm actually running the 420 horsepower because I thought with current ATS we definitely need more horsepower to kind of actually move around a lot of the cargo types. 420 is still not a ton, but for that time, definitely a lot. Transmission, I left the standard 10-speed transmission in our truck today, so we'll see how it handles some of the Montana hills, presuming we actually hit some Montana hills. Interior, we've got a couple different options. We've got cream and we also have brown. So once again, depending on what you like, you can choose that. I'm running cream today. It looks really nice. And the interior quality here, and I'll show it in the video itself, incredibly detailed for at least what the time period is. This mod overall is so amazing. Everything is animated as well, which you'll see in just a second. Overall, really quite nice. Paint jobs, we've got a few standard ones and of course some different kind of more skin types here, some different paint jobs that you can choose from depending on what you like. I'm using Windsor Blue today. Once again, nice, honestly a really nice color of blue if you ask me. Exterior options, the one that everyone wants to know about. Plenty of dots around here. You can customize the grille all the way up to, well, what I liked was the little bull bar accessories here. Not too much of a bull bar if you ask me. I'm not going to argue with a mod that's supposed to be quite realistic. On the bumper side, we've got plenty of options as well. And running down the side, you can change your different trim options overall. Same with the fuel tanks as well. There's lots of chrome and other accent pieces around the truck, really to make it your own. And finally, the interior. You can select a few things, particularly the steering wheel. You can go between black and the ivory. You can put a GPS down the bottom left-hand corner like I've done today, because if not, I would be completely lost. There is a little bit of cabin accessories you can put in there as well. There is that option. And you can also do some hanging bits here from the front if you so choose to. So if you couldn't tell, I'm definitely going to put this truck to the test. We're hauling waste paper from here in Butte, Montana, all the way up to Great Falls. I think it'll be a really nice delivery in 1.47 open beta. So we've got the nice few perks there. Let's go ahead and get this Peterbilt 350 started up, and so you can hear these custom engine sounds. I honestly love the horn. The horn may be one of my highlights, and I'm going to do something different. Normally, we would just pull away right away. I'm going to shut the truck off. Keep an eye out right here. Yes, the low air sign turns on and off depending on the condition of the truck and if, well, you have low air pressure or not. Everything in this cab is animated from what I can tell. Overall, a beautiful piece of kit. Let's go ahead and get the air brakes off and let's roll out of here. We're definitely going to put this Peterbilt to the test. What a nice classic truck, may I say. I really wanted to, well, to be honest, I saw this on the Steam Workshop, and as soon as I saw it, I had to download it, and it's actually very, very popular right now, to no surprise. And I really wanted to do a classic truck once again, as I did not too long ago, the Kenworth K100E. I brought it back to the channel, but the Peterbilt 350 I have never done before, and because I believe this is a newer mod to my knowledge. I completely forgot, by the way, if you can't tell, so I do apologize if I am incorrect, but it is a wonderful mod overall. Wonderful indeed. And I want to do another classic truck that I was mentioning, and we can bypass the way stations, but we still have to drive over it. Not awkward at all. Okay, well, thank you very much, game. I don't mind that. Don't mind it if I do. But I wanted to do a classic truck, and I thought, well, this is the best one to do in my opinion. Overall, really nice solid mod. And yeah, we're definitely going to put it to the test. I mean, as I mentioned in my little debrief there of the truck mod itself, not a very large engine. And I am feeling that right off the bat. One thing to note, do not expect to go fast in this sucker. do not expect to absolutely out-accelerate anyone. It is modeled off a 1949 or 1950 engine. The Cummins engine that is within it. Yeah, it is definitely not on the most powerful side, but hey, it's time specific, and I'm not going to complain about that one. That's what the classic trucks are for, am I right? But it's really nice to kind of drive in the more classic trucks as well. We're used to all the big screens and just digital display left, right, and center on all the modern trucks. It really is quite nice to see something that's just, well, analog. That's the best way to say it. It's nice to just see something that's not, well, all digital. Something that really takes you back to the past and what American trucking was years and years ago. And of course, we're here in 1.47 open beta. I was really wanting to do a mod quite quickly into the beta. First episode I always do, well, the first look especially, always do without mods. That's something I have done so far, and I probably will continue doing as well, just to make sure there's no performance hiccups and stuff like that, or incompatibilities. And you may have noticed, and I can't remember if I said it in the last episode or not, the map does not look like there's a lot discovered. And oh, we got a turn here. Pretty good brakes. There we go. Prime testing the brakes already. We're just going to nonchalantly reverse here. Oh, and that's the other thing. I noticed that when I was actually getting the trailer hooked up, or when I was going to come to this delivery, there are no reversers on this mod. I don't know if that's supposed to be that way. I have a feeling it is. I don't think reverse beepers on trucks were mandatory back in the 1950s. In fact, I don't even... So correct me if I'm wrong, for those who know their trucking history better than I do. But I have the reverse beeper enabled in ATS, so unless the mod just doesn't have it, which I really would be surprised if it doesn't, to be honest. It feels like we're going to pull it in front of the W900 if we've got enough power. Looks like we've got it. Looking at the wrong mirror, big shock. I think we just did it. Is it going to shift? Or am I already... Am I in 10th gear already? I am in 10th gear already. Oh no! This is not gonna be good. How fast am I going? About 50 miles an hour is like red line on this truck. You serious? Once again, I guess I actually didn't know that, but kind of emphasizes my point. Do not expect to go fast in this thing. Okay, well, good thing I didn't choose an awfully long delivery for today. That's probably a good thing. I guess kind of self-conscious, or subconscious, not self-conscious. Subconscious kind of working away there for me. Yeah, I'm basically redlining the engine, going like 50 on the interstate. Well... This is a change of plans, isn't it? I mean, hey, it looks good. That's all that matters. People would be driving by saying, upgrade the truck, dude. You're not in the 50s anymore. Hey, but if it still runs, people, it still runs. I mean, some of these things were built like a tank. Actually, to be honest, most of them were kind of around that era. And I do know that there are some trucks from this era that are still on the road. Some people have done restoration projects, obviously, but even still, some of them are still around and kicking, and I wouldn't be surprised. This just feels wrong, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if this is correct or not, if there's a ratio issue wrong on a transmission. I don't know, something just doesn't feel right, to be honest. I believe the description of the workshop may have said something about the most realistic combinations for engine, transmission, and chassis. I'm going to be completely transparent. I didn't quite read through all those details. I was more kind of focusing on the mod itself and kind of just seeing all the ratings, which were very high, by the way. So odds are I could have messed something up quite badly in my engine and transmission kind of choice. But I didn't change the transmission off of stock, but I did change the engine quite significantly, I will say. I did change it from... I guess all the way, well, it was basically a 125 horsepower engine. I put it up to 450 without changing the transmission. That may have been a mistake on my part. But if not, hey, we're out for a nice cruise. I don't know what day it is in ATS, but let's call it a Sunday cruise, even though this video should be going live on a Saturday. If you're watching this on the launch day, hopefully everyone is enjoying their weekend so far. And if you're watching this in the future, hopefully the video has found you well and you're doing okay. That's all we can ask for, but 1.47, what an amazing update, besides the fact I'm just kind of twiddling along here along the road. Amazing update, and I can tell that I'm feeling the bump and the kind of movements along the road a little bit more this episode than in the past, or in the first look episode. To be honest, I think it was the first look episode I was going off of so much stuff and a little bit more rust that I just wasn't paying attention as much. Let's see a little bit of engine braking here first before I keep talking away. Not bad if you ask me. I lost a lot of momentum there. That may not have been a smart idea, but it's all for the people, I must say. Now, I will another I will say moment. I really like this little thing I was able to put on the dash. That little older push car there. Really kind of fun, to be honest. I saw that in the option when I was just scrolling through, and I was like, yes. Pretty much that's the best way to describe it. Just yes. Had to do it. Of course, the GPS stuck on the windshield. Oh, that's the wrong camera movement. Sorry about that, people. GPS, there we go. Prime's brain is all discombobulated now. GPS on the windscreen, because if not, I would be completely lost. Big shock there. I feel like we shouldn't be redlining this the entire time, but we are, and yeah, it just doesn't feel right. Zoom in there. Miles per hour. We're now down at 40. Slight grade? Very slight. I think maybe the 50 mile an hour was downhill. This is a heavy haul transmission by the sounds of it, or by the looks of it, kind of sarcastically. For those who know, heavy hauls are generally 30 or 40 miles an hour kind of capped for the delivery. Seems like this engine and transmission combo just does it for you. You don't need to slow down on your own. Just pin the throttle right to the ground and hope for the best. And I think that's what we're kind of doing today. But these classic trucks, there's just something about them. And the true classics. This is a true classic. Say what you want about, for example, the Kenworth K100E. I always want to go K Kenworth for whatever reason. Today, the Kenworth K100E is definitely a classic in its own right, but this is a true classic truck. The Peterbilt 350, I mean, it's from the 1950s. I don't know if you can get more classic than that in at least semi-modern times, but there's just something about these older trucks. There just really is something about them. Just kind of says America right all over it here. I was trying to decide today, and I just drifting all over the road here, classic prime maneuvers. I was trying to decide for today's delivery what trailer and, well, cargo do we take. To be honest, the cargo wasn't really my first priority. It's always what trailer should I put on this thing. I, to be honest, had no idea what I should do. It was kind of a hard decision, to be honest with you, what I should do. But I went with the flatbed. Just kind of a standard flatbed. Not only because I wanted a decent variety of cargo types, but just I felt keeping it simple, not too high, because I felt a box trailer, considering the stature of this truck, isn't maybe the tallest thing in the world. I figured, you know, something like a flatbed, I can just kind of scale my delivery to it. Now, saying that, I chose one of the tallest things you can probably put on the flatbed in ATS, being the waste paper. But it was going where I wanted it to go, and I thought, you know what, we gotta test this truck. And I think, you know, I thought to myself when I was choosing the delivery, it can handle it. And it's handling it quite well, besides the fact that we're pretty much naturally capped at 50 miles an hour when we're going downhill because of, I'm going to assume, the transmission ratio. And I don't know, it's kind of hard in 1950, where a lot of these trucks going over 50 miles an hour anywhere, it's kind of hard to say. To be honest, I don't know if I would have wanted to in some of these things, because it's not like they had seat belts. You can't see it in the interior, but oh, that bench seat definitely does not have, or that seat over there definitely does not have any seat belts on it. I mean, you are pretty much in a massive metal box, quite a few feet above the ground, so, but you could still get hurt because there's a lot of mass behind you, and I don't know, I wouldn't maybe be wanting to go above 50 miles an hour, even though I have a feeling they probably did, but I don't know. It just, I don't want to, I'm second guessing myself if you can't tell. I don't want to say that the mod is incorrect in this, but once again, if you know, please just help me out here. Put it in the comments. I should have done more research, but I was too excited to try it out. I haven't downloaded it too long ago. Oh, we're going through Helena, which is good. We're getting close to, is it, wait, Grand Falls? Great Falls? Which one is it again? Great Falls, yeah, there it is. I think Grand Falls is somewhere else. I can't remember at this point. Too many cities now in ATS, and so many more coming as well. We've got Oklahoma and Kansas coming, something that is truly amazing, kind of going into the Midwest here. It is just great to have more DLCs coming for ATS. Obviously, on the ATS2 side of thing, it's a whole other story, and if you haven't checked it out already, my first look, really for both ATS and ATS2 and the 1.47 open beta, both of those videos are live. You guys can check those out if you so choose to. But on the ATS2 side, there's really not a whole lot. To be honest, it's kind of hard. There's some reworks here and there, and the Heart of Russia DLC is the whole, well, Heart of Russia DLC situation, given the current in real-world circumstances. And then we've got the West Balkans DLC. When is it coming? Who knows? But on the ATS side, there are some rumors that Oklahoma could be the kind of DLC coming with the release of the 1.47 update. I'm just being kind of cautiously optimistic, to be honest. Oklahoma is coming along quite well, judging by the blog post, but is it nearing release kind of stages? I don't know. Once again, let me know what you guys think of the whole situation. But we have Kansas as well coming, which is always exciting. Filling out more DLCs is always something that I'm happy to see. And as we move east, a lot of the DLCs get smaller, and as the states get smaller. So now, unless if SES Software starts combining some of the DLCs, which I would like to see, in all honesty, not just, well, for example, I don't know, let's go the Carolinas when we actually hit the East Coast. I'd really like to see a Carolina DLC. Both north and south, call it a day. And for example, when we were up, I mean, this is probably down the line still a decent amount, but when we're up around the New York area, I mean, the New York DLC, but having a bunch of the other states there as well, just kind of a northeastern kind of DLC to itself. I don't know. I'd like to have multiple states come in one DLC, but it's ultimately SES Software's decision. I know a lot of us would like to see some bundle DLCs over here and there, but it's the way it is. It's the way it is indeed. Oh, almost sideswiped the truck beside me. I'm just going so slow that everyone's just passing me. You could honestly be in a moped and probably overtake me if you slipstream me hard enough. I mean, I'm creating a pretty big disturbance in the air, if you ask me. I mean, also, maybe it's the aerodynamics from the front. The paper on top is definitely not helping. Oh, let's see if I can drive like this. Probably not a good idea. Paper is probably not really helping the aerodynamics of this truck. No cabin deflectors at all. Just basically a nice tall wall of waste paper, just kind of slowing us down. So when you've got a transmission and engine that are not modern, yeah, it's gonna cause issues. And my buttons keep acting up on me, so I do apologize if it keeps kind of cutting back and forth. If I try and do the exterior view and it doesn't like it, hopefully it doesn't do it for too long. But I don't know. Sometimes I just kind of mash a button and hope for the best, and sometimes it doesn't turn out the way I want to, especially with cinematic camera. But that time did, which is always good. So if you got any other mod ideas, be sure to comment down below or DM me on your chosen social media that I actually have. Let me know. I've been getting lots of recommendations over time, and it's just the matter of kind of filtering through them on the ones that, well, one, are legit links, and making sure they're safe. I do prefer stuff on Steam Workshop, if at all possible, but there are a few other mod sites that I will kind of accept, but it's just kind of all per condition. But if you've got any recommendations, please let me know. I'm always open to trying different things. Don't have to be truck mods. They can be different skin mods, whether it's for trailers or for the truck or both. When it comes to trailers, engine mods, sounds, or different stuff like that, just let me know. I'm more than happy to put it into the production schedule, believe it or not. I do have some form of plan generally. Emphasis on generally. And it's just the, yeah. If you have any ideas, just let me know. I'm more than happy to take a look into it. I know our customer expects it soon. Our delivery, I mean, I wasn't expecting the truck to top out at like 45 to 50. Just on a good slope. But now look at this. Slight grade and the engine's starting to bog down a little bit. Oh boy, you gotta love it. Classic trucks. I was gonna say, before I got rudely interrupted by the game mechanics, these are the kind of trucks I'd like to see SU Software add officially. Even though the mods are truly amazing like this, and the sounds are great with it as well. I don't know. It just... pretty good engine brake. Nice and works quite well. Anyways, I'd like to see these come to ATS really just on their own. I know it could be something down the line, but the classic trucks I think would be really cool to have as like a used market, in all honesty. Your first truck, instead of it being a brand new truck, having a used market. We're going to see if we can pull out here in front of the cement mixer. Turn the corner here. What's the big old boat of a truck? I guess it's not that much of a boat now, is it? The front end is a boat, but the rest of it really isn't. It's not that big. But no, the used market, and especially these older classic trucks, are just something I'd like to see SU Software bring in. I think a lot of us would. The mods are great, but having more of a variety of these classic trucks really just add to it. And even, for that matter, just putting it in the AI. If they're not going to bring it to the trucks and it has to, for us to drive, and it has to be just the AI, having a bit more than slightly older trucks would be kind of nice. I don't know. Is it as realistic to have a ton of them out there? No. But is it nice to see them every here and there? Sure. And I think a lot of us would agree that it is quite nice. Hey, they've got a Canadian flag over here. Why, thank you, Americans. As a person of the true Norse, as some of us refer to it as, the Grand Old Norse. I do appreciate it. Well, I actually haven't noticed that ever before, I don't think. Now, knowing that, someone's going to give me a timestamp of a video when I was doing like the Montana DLC all the time, when it released, and they're going to be like, you said it there, Prime. Well, I'm sorry, okay? I can't remember, but nice to see a Canadian flag being repped down in Montana. I mean, I guess it is quite close to the Canadian border. That does kind of make sense now, does it? Looks like we're pulling into our delivery kind of area over here, the complex. I think it's kind of like the airport, to be honest with you. Or, yeah, it looks like it. Looks like it's the airport. Not quite sure if it's the actual airport or if it's just we're going around the airport, but it seems like we're heading around to some of the terminals on this side. So I would assume that we're actually kind of going... Well, we're obviously going in the right direction. I was going to say, I think we're going in the right direction, but the GPS is telling us that it is the correct direction, so that kind of does make sense. Yeah, it looks like we got to head over towards the terminals here, which does make sense. So let's go ahead and make a left-hand veer here. Veer left. And we should be able to head up over in this direction. I guess we could have gone in there, but we're going to go up and around. Why not? And we're going to actually head straight through, I think. Through the gate. And up and around. Oh, wait. It's actually right there. If I go the other way, I have to do a blindside reverse. Back it up. Okay, here we go. We're going to back up the truck. We're going to go in this gate. Look at Prime using his brain for once, not just crashing into stuff. No brakes has not happened too recently, I don't think. Oh wait, maybe I actually have crashed into stuff before. Never mind, forget what I'm saying. No brakes though, at least with the newer wheel, is less common, but it still happens. And trust me, I am actually a good driver in real life, unlike some of my showcases may represent. I'm actually a safe driver, so don't you worry about me. I am, well, fingers crossed, nothing will happen as I drive around, but you never know. Accidents do happen, but I am very careful. Let's see if we can reverse this thing into the spot. It's not a crazy long wheelbase of the truck, So in theory, it should be fine. We're just going to let it rotate in and start following it a little bit. Nice thing is this truck is so like molasses like slow. It's so easy to just control the reverse in here because all the gear ratios and everything just don't have speed in mind, which I guess they technically shouldn't, but because it is a truck. But even the modern stuff gets up and moving pretty quick. I think there's a lot more torque, definitely more kind of economy minded where you need to get there faster. Oh, yeah, just use the bumpers on the receiving dock. That's perfectly fine. You know what? I think we may just leave it right there. It's not straight, but to be honest, I don't know how they're getting all this waste paper in through the receiving dock anyways, so that's not my problem. Nonetheless, thank you guys so much for watching. What an amazing mod, the Peterbilt 350 from 1949 or 52, depending on which version you do choose in the options. What a lovely mod. I'm sure I'll be using this once again in the future. But 1.47 open beta, it's going well for me so far. Hopefully everyone is enjoying it. And once again, if you have any recommendations for different mods or different things you want to see me do, comment down below. I'll be more than happy to look into it. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.